hard to win in college football. Thought we played a pretty clean first half. I felt like I think we had the ball 4 times, scored 4 touchdowns, and didn't give up a score, so felt pretty good about that. And then second half, their quarterback got hot, and we didn't play well. We didn't do a good job the entire night defensively of getting off the field on third down. They were 12 of 17, on third down, and that's converted way too many third downs. Can't let that happen. So obviously got to improve in that area. I think we had only 8 possessions in the game, scored 6 touchdowns, threw an interception, and punted at the end. I think the first offense starting group was 6 of 6 when it came to scoring touchdowns on drives. So felt like those guys executed fairly well. Like I said, I wish we would have ended the game a little cleaner than we did. But, unfortunately, that's kind of the way some of these games go sometimes. We just seemed like at halftime we just came out and didn't have the same kind of mindset and killer mentality we needed to in the second half. And we got to do a better job. I've got to do a better job getting our players ready when they, have that kind of situation. Felt like we did a really good job a week and a half ago against North Carolina. We were up 20-7 at halftime and scored on the first possession of the second half, and really felt like we pulled away. And just for whatever reason tonight, we didn't have that same kind of mentality, and we got to have that and got to do a better job.
So winning number 100 for you, what does that achievement mean to you?
I guess it means I've been doing it for a while. I guess it's a good thing. What's funny is none of them are easy. That's the one thing you learn. They're all hard. They're hard to come by. They're hard to get. It's hard to win in college football. Hard to hang around long enough, I guess, to get to 100. But that's a credit to the players. They're the ones that do the things. And so, yeah, it's neat, but I hadn't really thought about it too much. I didn't really realize it till somebody said something about it.
Man, Jack and Small both had really good days.
Yeah. Yeah, really pleased for both those guys. Thought they both played well. It's Joseph's first 100-yard game in his career, 39 games. I didn't realize that. I thought he played well. He made some big plays on third down. In particular, that first third down in the second half where, they went down and scored. And then, we needed to kind of get something going. In his third and long, and he made a big play. And I thought he played well. Obviously, thought Ed Small played well, made some really tough catches, ran some good routes. The good thing is we've got a lot of depth at that position. Jordan Bailey had a little bit of an ankle deal that happened on the opening kickoff. He could have played, but we just chose to not play him and let some of those guys get some work. And, Ed Small stepped right in and played like a veteran. So was happy to see that, and, it creates a bunch of competition at that spot now.
Thoughts on spreading the ball around 10 different pass catchers?
Yeah. I think that goes to the fact that, Josh trusts those guys. He just believes that they're going to do what they're supposed to do, how they're supposed to do it. I thought we really protected the passer well tonight. They didn't get a lot of pressure. We saw a lot of blitzes and different things, and I thought Josh did a good job of moving when he had to in the pocket and buying some time and looking downfield and making some really good throws out of the pocket. Thought he did a really good job of doing that. Was really pleased with the decisions that he made. Thought he really looked comfortable, the whole night. And again, I think the receivers did a good job catching the ball, running routes. I was a little disappointed with how he ended the game. Ken Seals has really performed so well in practice. Figured Ken would kind of pick up where Josh left off, and we just underthrew a ball a little bit and threw an interception. Terry probably could have helped him a little bit by trying to get the ball out of the defender's hands, but I wish we would have finished the game a little bit better on offense. We needed to get some young players in the game, and I thought the young offensive line I thought did a good job, and the young running backs I thought ran hard, but we just didn't finish it maybe the way we needed to.
What's the status of Kavori? Was that precautionary?
Yeah. We just, we had a couple of guys that got nicked a little bit in the game, and DJ, same kind of thing. I think they're all going to be fine. I don't think there's going to be anything significant with any of those guys. We just kind of got them out of the game as quickly as we could.
On some of those completions ACU got, the defense looked like they were there, but just didn't.
Yeah. You know, they underthrew some of those balls, and you know, I think we were probably a little late getting turned around and reacting to the ball, and we're trying to play the defender. Now the defender's playing the ball, and we had a problem, I think, a couple times at corner where they underthrew those balls. You know, I was a little disappointed the way we played at that position overall. You know, I thought we had, I think, 3 pass interference penalties. We had a late hit on the quarterback. You know, I didn't think we played very well at corner.
Was there anything that they showed offensively that?
No, it was nothing different, really. No, just all stuff that we were kind of prepared for. We just got on our heels a little bit and had a hard time getting them stopped. You know, it's funny when you have when you're playing a game like that and you have a big lead, you don't want to give up a 1-play touchdown. That's the only way they get back in the game. And so sometimes you have a tendency to let them bleed some stuff out, and they ran the ball pretty effectively on us. And you know, and the thing was, if they were going to score, we wanted to make them, you know, drive it the length of the field and burn the clock. And so when you kind of have that mentality, sometimes it doesn't always look real pretty.
With the Iron Skillet coming up this next week, did you get the sense that maybe guys were looking ahead a little bit?
I didn't think we had as good a week. I didn't think we were as focused and practiced as well as we did going into North Carolina. Yeah, I mean, I had that sense a little bit, maybe after practice on Wednesday. We just weren't as clean. Our walkthrough wasn't as good on Thursday. Run through on Friday wasn't the same. We got to do a better job of doing that. You know, I told the guys in the locker room, you know, we just can't afford to not prepare and play our best. You know, especially in the Big 12, week in, week out. I mean, you're going to get beat if you don't play well, and if you're not excited to play. And so it just seemed like we lost a little bit of our edge at halftime, being up 28-0, and that's something that, you know, we have to do better. We're trying to get there as a program, and I'm not sure we have, you know, in order to be able to close those games the way that you want to close them. And that's hard. I mean, look around college football, it's hard to do that. You know, it's hard, but you got to find a way to do it if you want to be a great team.
You got teams like Kansas State who have played 4 games, and then you guys just
it's weird. Yeah.
How much harder is it to establish a rhythm? And
yeah, it's weird. It's been weird. I mean, our schedule's been strange. Yeah, it has been. I credit our players for adapting and you know, and figuring it out. But it is weird. I mean, there were a number of teams that had already played 4 games, and you know, before our game kicked off. You know, and so it's been a strange start to the season just from a scheduling standpoint, but it's one of the things that we had to do to accommodate the North Carolina game, and I think that's a game that, you know, I think when it's all said and done, we were glad that we were able to move it to a Monday night and play on national television.
Jordan continues to be a good presence at.
Yeah, just makes plays, man. You know, he just makes plays, and Josh trusts him, and I think those two right now are really on the same wavelength, you know, and he just has just got a way of making competitive plays on the ball, and he puts himself in a great position, and you know, he's just a sneaky good receiver.
To Josh as well, had really solid high.
Yeah, he did. I thought he threw it really well. I mean, there were a couple of things that we were off on, you know, 1 or 2, but not much. I mean, he's, like I said earlier, he threw the ball really, really well on the run, moving the pocket. When he broke from the pocket, he made great decisions. You know, to me, that's one of the things that he really needed to improve in was the decisions that he made when he left the pocket. And I thought he was really good with the ball tonight. I thought he made really good decisions, didn't try to force anything. I thought he did a really good job taking care of the ball. I was disappointed that we lost the turnover battle. That's something that, you know, we have to win. You know, we turned it over and they didn't, and so we got to do a better job again creating some havoc defensively. We didn't do that enough tonight, and you know, we can't turn that ball over like we did in the fourth quarter. Okay, guys, thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Questions for Devin Deal?
Just from your point of view, what do you think is happening in the second half when they finally start scoring on you guys?
I mean, we just got to be better. You know, give them credit for coming out with some adjustments, and, you know, they executed their game plan. But it's a lot of assignment and technique stuff that we're going to go watch the film and know that we can do better, especially moving into a week like next week. So, yeah, I'm excited to get it fixed. I got to be better. We got to be better, but give them credit. and yeah, we'll be better.
Was there anything with SMU up next week? Was there maybe some looking ahead by some guys?
I can't speak on other people. Not really. I don't believe so. Not for me. Really respect to ACU. You know, you look at their O-line and stuff and how they're coached. They're a well-coached team. So we gave them credit, honestly. Up front, they're just as good, if not better, than UNC. So we knew that coming in. And, you know, we got, like you said, we got to be better preparation. Like this week compared to last week when we look at it, day by day, I feel like we got to just improve, especially going into next week.
How do you improve on that? What adjustments do you make?
The great thing is we control it. You know, it's just effort, excitement for each day. You know, like you said, it's kind of easy when it's a hyped up game. You kind of feed off of it, whether you know it or not. And then, yeah, we just got to be better. Like, it starts with me. It starts with the captains and the leaders, the upperclassmen. You know, we got to play fast. You play through the whistle and give full effort. That way, it's just contagious.
Anything else for Deb?
When you look ahead next week to Skillet, the last game that's on the schedule for the foreseeable future, what is that opportunity to have that game here mean to you guys as a team?
I mean, it was amazing. The stands were packed today. It was senior night. You know, it was a blessing to be out there with my parents. And just the love that we get from Fort Worth is unmatched. So I know next week moving into the rivalry against those guys in Dallas, it's going to be even more packed. I'm excited. You know, thank God I'm blessed to play in the game and play for a school like TCU.
Question for Josh?
Josh, you guys lost 3 guys at NFL last year, but Man, Jack, Dwyer, Ed Small, these guys have already stepped up. What can you just say about this year's receiver group already?
We just got a good group. I mean, there's a lot of guys that have skill sets, and I think we've done a good job of trying to figure out how to utilize all those guys. And so we've got fast guys, we've got possession guys, we've got guys who can do everything. And so I think the challenge going forward is just figuring out how to get all these guys their touches and how to get them all a part of the game. So pretty pleased with the way we're playing a receiver right now. Those guys are doing a great job. Had a couple balls tonight I wish could have got back, but it's kind of how that goes. And trying to get better this next week and figure out, you know, how we can connect on those next week.
You've been really effective outside of the pocket in the first 2 games of the season. Just talk about how you worked on that maybe this offseason.
I think just receivers doing a good job, getting open, doing a better job on scramble drill. They're just playing well after the play. So when the guys do that, it gives you opportunities to make plays. And so I think just being able to do that and kind of the more you play, a little more savvy you get when you get out there of how to manipulate defenders and things like that. So just trying to implement those things.
Josh, last week there was such an emphasis on the running game. That's what got you guys really going. Or 2 weeks ago against North Carolina. This week you came out and kind of looked like with the more intention to throw the ball around. Was that part of the game plan, or is that just what the defense was giving you?
I mean, their defense, they just people everywhere. I mean, that's kind of their thing. I don't even think they knew what they're doing half the time. They just had guys going all over the place and trying to junk up the run game. And so when guys do that, it makes it tougher at times to run your gap schemes and run the ball. And so I thought we did a good job tonight running the ball for what they were doing. And obviously we were throwing it around pretty well, and the receivers making plays. So we kind of just roll it till it's hot. And it wasn't that we didn't run the ball effectively. I think we had 100-something yards rushing. And so it's just a good balance tonight of doing both and taking advantage of what the defense has given us. So good job by the coaches and by the players executing.
Second straight game, you've done the touchdown to the tight end. What have they kind of opened up on the offense for you guys?
Just being open, I guess. I don't know. Just, every time we've got good tight ends. I mean, we got DJ Rogers, Chase Curtis, Lafayette, Mason, Pimpton. I mean, we got 5 guys who are like legit dudes. So when you got guys out there like that, they can run routes, block, do all the things, catch in traffic, makes it easy, and you just got to put it near them. So I think they all have done a good job so far, and it'll be fun to watch going forward.
What did you think of Ed's first touchdown catch?
Which one was it? Oh, the one-hander? Yeah, I told him he should have caught it with 2. He was showing off. But it was an unbelievable catch, and I tried to put a little air on it for him. And, I thought it was going to be like a walk-in touchdown when I threw it. I thought, it's going to be an easy catch. So I see him dive, and I'm like, all right, what are you doing out there, But he made a great catch, and so happy for him to get his first touchdown. And thinking back to a couple years ago, my first touchdown, it's pretty cool. So just seeing him able to do that and then score again is pretty awesome, and I'm excited for him. He works hard. Great player, knows what to do, shows up, is consistent every day, and it's crazy how successful guys like that can be.
You got the Iron Skillet coming up on Saturday, last game on the books for these 2 teams moving forward. Just what are you looking forward to about this game?
Just looking forward to playing. That's all I got to say.
When you look at the offense, I think Sonny said that you guys scored 6 out of 6 possessions basically on offense. How big is that for you guys and your confidence going into next week?
I think we're just operating at a pretty high level, doing a good job up front, communicating. Receivers are blocking well. They're catching the ball well. I had 2 or 3 throws tonight that I just missed guys, and so that'll be something I've got to fix going forward. And other than that, I thought we played pretty clean on offense. We were really good on third down. I think we were like 9 of 10 whenever I was in the game. So, it's good performance by the guys. Never easy to score 6 straight times. I think you do that every game, you're going to win a lot of games. So proud of our guys for just the maturity we had going out there in the second half and scoring 2 drives in a row. We had 3rd and longs in both of those drives. So just proud of our guys, the maturity we showed.
I got lost count of how many different receivers you hit tonight. Do you ever notice that? Like, man, I'm spreading the ball around pretty well.
No, not really. I mean, I feel like I'm so focused on what I'm trying to do. I mean, sometimes you kind of see the scoreboard flash by and see somebody with like 115, like Manjack, you're like 4 for 114, and I'm thinking, 114? Where did all those come from, But just thinking back on him, he made a lot of good plays today. It was really good for us on third down, and it'll be fun to continue to work with him and try to get on the same page about some other things and see if we can really take it to the next level.
Sonny, but there's teams that have played 4 games this season, and you guys just played your second. Is there anything about trying to establish a rhythm early on in the season?
Yeah, I mean, you can't really control that. So, as far as what we can control, we're just going to go out and try to get better. And I think we've been in a pretty decent rhythm on offense the last 2 games. So we're going to try to continue doing that. And we'll have a challenge this week at SMU, but it's going to be fun. And nobody's more excited than we are.
Yeah. Good. Questions for Ed Small?
Ed, how'd it feel to get those 2 touchdowns tonight?
I mean, it felt great. Just felt great to be out there. Didn't get too many opportunities last game at North Carolina, but I knew coming into this game I was going to get more. So just being in the right place at the right time is the biggest thing, and Hoover had 2 great balls to me. So
You were an early enrollee. How much value do you think that kind of added to you, like helping you be in a position where you can contribute so early on in your career?
I mean, I think it was everything. You get 4 or 5 extra months learning the offense, and if you come in the summer, you lose those months. So, I knew the whole offense when everybody else was coming in, so I felt like I was a step ahead. And in the spring, everything's kind of moving fast for you because it's your first time in college ball. But fall camp, I just felt like the game was a lot slower for me, and I could do more things. I could see with the coverage as well. So, just the fall camp preparation was a lot easier, I would say, enrolling early.
And when you look at the depth in that receiver room and the amount of veteran guys ahead of you, to be a true freshman, playing and scoring in a game like today, Josh talked about your work ethic and how that can kind of portray. Like, what do you think has made you different to be impactful so early in your career?
I took it to heart to learn the offense really early because I knew that people are more athletic than me, people are faster than me, but if I know where to be, when to be there, I'm going to get on the field. And I also have some sneaky athleticism in there, and so if I'm in the right place at the right time, I'm going to make plays. So I think that's the biggest thing.
What have you learned from a guy like Manjack?
I've learned a lot. He's actually my locker buddy. He's like right across from me. He's played in I don't know how many games, but a lot of games. He looks like the game is really slow for him because he knows what's going on. The way he uses his hands, I think, when people are getting hands on him, is pretty elite. He talks to us too, like all the freshman receivers. He can tell if we don't know what we're doing, and he's showing us what we can do. So he's been great.
What does it mean to you to know that you have the trust of the coaching staff? And Coach Dykes was in here talking good about you. What's that mean to you as such a young player to have that kind of trust from them?
It means a lot. I came in January just trying to work hard, put my head down and work hard. My parents just told me, you're going to go in there, you're not going to know much, but as long as you work hard and do what you're supposed to do, go to class, do everything right, don't be late, don't be a distraction, you're going to gain the trust of your teammates and coaches, and that's the biggest thing. You could be the most athletic guy in the room, but if you don't have the trust of your teammates, you're not going to play. So that was just the biggest thing I was focused on.
How did it feel to you running out of the tunnel for the first time?
It was awesome. It was packed today. I definitely had chills. It was awesome. With the music playing in the tunnel, it was awesome.
Anything else for Ed? Thanks, Ed.
Thank you.
That's it.
And you all played really well in the first half, shut them out when you guys had 21 in the second half. What was the message after the game, just in the defense overall?
I'd kind of say just sticking to your job and just doing your detail. Never get too comfortable. Ones and twos, don't matter really who's in the game. You're expected to do your job.
Was there anything they showed offensively that maybe you guys hadn't seen?
Not too much. I'd say the coaches did a great job this week getting us prepared for what to expect. And I think that bye week was just an extra week to help too.
Do you feel like there were some low points in practice this week? Coach said that y'all really didn't have a great practice on Wednesday. Did you notice anything like that?
I wouldn't really say low points. It was kind of just like, we've been playing one game so far before today. We had a whole fall camp, and then we had a bye week. So it's kind of just like people were really just not really having the energy to go out and practice. So I can see where he said that from.
Has the start to the season, the way it was scheduled, been a challenge for you?
Not really. It's kind of just got to take it for what it is. If anything, kind of look at it, just taking care of our body, just getting ready to play later in the season.
You see the offense score on this 6 straight possessions. How much confidence does that give you guys?
It gives us a lot, going against them guys every day in practice, they get us better. So, it's good to see them actually doing the same things against other people.
You had a big sack tonight that forced a field goal. Can you talk about that play?
Yeah, it was just an interior blitz. Just got to give Coach Avalos credit, I guess, just for his disguise. It just opened up. I really didn't have to give anybody like a pass rush move. It was just a clear shot, so I just made the tackle.
The secondary didn't play as well as they did against UNC, and Coach had mentioned that. What's kind of the message you give to those guys this week? I know there's some disappointment in that room right now, but I know you guys as leaders will talk to them.
Like I said, it just goes back to doing your job. Feel like you got to be confident in what you can do. Never get too high with the UNC game. Never get too low with this game. So you kind of just have a reset mindset. Go out there every single play and just be confident in what you do and be confident that you can do your job.
You guys got SMU coming up. This is the last scheduled game for who knows how long. Does that add anything to the game for you?
For sure. I played them every year so far, and I'm not really too sure why it's stopping. I feel like it's one of the better rivalry games we got, just being DFW, So definitely means a lot. Being the last game definitely means a lot off last year too.